The major system, also called the consonant peg method or the phonetic mnemonic system, is a very efficient technique used to memorize numbers, shuffle playing cards, dates, historical facts, and other long abstract sequences of items. It works by converting number sequences into consonants, consonants into words by adding vowels, and the words into images. Then, by linking these images into sequences, little stories, we create unforgettable memories for the numbers. This technique works on the principle that images can be remembered more easily than numbers. By using images, large amounts of information can be accurately memorized. The major system is a variant of the peg memory method. A peg system can be thought of much like a wardrobe, which contains a number of hooks for hanging clothes on. The hangers themselves never change, but the clothes which are hung on the hooks can be infinitely varied. In the major system, the pegs are the consonants, linked with the first n numbers, 1 to n. As you will see in this course, n can be 10, 100, or 1000, depending on the level at which you want to apply the major system. Although the principle is the same, the difference between these variants is the number of images you need to learn beforehand, 10, 100, or 1000. In the next lesson, I will present you these variants so you better understand the differences and also the efficiency of each level. Now, let's see how the major memory system works. The system works by converting number sequences into consonants, consonants into images, and linking images into sequences, little stories. Like all peg-type memory methods, the major system has the same sequence of 4 steps. Step 1. Learn the peg list of the system, the code. The code is a simple list of associations between the numbers from 0 to 9 and the following consonant sounds. The code is easy to learn. It shouldn't take more than 20 minutes to fully master it, and once learned, it can be used for life. In a future lesson, I will show you some tips on how to remember these associations, but for now, let's move on with the steps of this method. Step 2. Apply the code. Take a number you would like to remember and apply the code by creating mental associations between items to be remembered and the images that are already known from the peg list. The number sequences are converted into consonants from the learned code, then into words. The words are formed quite simply by filling in the gaps between consonants with vowels. To begin, take the consonants from any 2 numbers and try to find a meaningful word by inserting the vowel A. Then do the same with the remaining vowels, one after the other, until you find the right word. As an example, let's take the number 41. According to the system's code, the digits in the number 41 translate to R and T respectively. Now we need to form a word with R and T. We should fill the gaps between the letters using the neutral elements, vowel sounds. The word rat comes naturally to me. 41 gets encoded as rat then. The coding from word to number is even more straightforward. The word kiss, for instance, becomes 70. 7 for K and 0 for S. Vowel sounds are ignored. The conversion process may seem a little slow and cumbersome at first, but with just a little bit of practice, it becomes second nature. In the same way, we can transform 3-digit numbers. 181, DVD, could be David. 140, DRS, could be doors. Take 400, RCS. There are different possibilities, but races is the first thing that comes to my mind. What comes to yours? Even if you aren't confident initially, after some practice, you'll quickly find keywords. Here is another example from Joshua Foer's book, Moonwalking with Einstein, The Art and Science of Remembering Everything. The number 32, for example, would translate into MN. 33 would be MM, and 34 would be MR. To make those consonants meaningful, you are allowed to freely intersperse vowels. So the number 32 might turn into an image of a man. 33 could be your mom, and 34 might be the Russian space station Mir. Similarly, the number 86 might be a fish, 40 a rose, and 92 a pen. You might visualize 3,219 as a man, 32, playing a tuba, 19, or maybe a person from Manitoba. Likewise, 7,879 would translate to KFKP, which might turn into a single image of a coffee cup or two images of a cough and a cup. Tip 1. Remember the rules of creating memorable images. Exaggerate, move, substitute, use color, and be absurd. Tip 2. When you create your story, link the images together with the location loci system. By doing this, large amounts of information can be accurately memorized. Step 4. Memorize and recall the story and the number. Finally, review the pictures in your mind to check that you have correctly memorized the images. The applications of the major system. As a result of its inherent logic, this system is very easy to learn. Once you have overcome the initial hurdle, which looks rather complicated at the beginning, the advantage of this technique is that it's straightforward, and you can begin using it immediately. When I first learned it, I immediately memorized my bank account numbers and some important telephone numbers. Another important advantage is that this technique is limitless. You can apply it to the memorization of cards, very long numbers, telephone numbers, dates in history, birthdays and anniversaries, and information for examinations. The major system can be used, like other systems, to remember lists. It can therefore be used to store information for long periods of time. You can build up a permanent library of important facts which you will never forget.